Welcome to an all-new edition of Beer Bros and BS. I'm Dave, the big librarian. Tonight, these guys with me are...
Dan. Tony.
Jose.
JJ, the mail chef.
As always, we have a bunch of delicious brews here for you guys. I brought Lion Stout.
I've got Cigar City's Seasonal Creep. I have Not Your Father's Root Beer from Small Town Brewery.
I got the Woot Stout from Stone and other collaborators.
And I have Dogfish Head, Midas Touch.
Tony, do you want to go ahead and talk about the first beer tonight?
Sure. So it's called Not Your Father's Root Beer. It's ale with the taste of spices, according to the label, and it's basically alcoholic root beer. And it's 5.9% alcohol by volume, and it is brewed out of Small Town Brewery in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So what do you guys think?
Dude, I love this. This is delicious.
Yeah, it's good root beer just by itself. And as a root beer connoisseur of sorts, I have no qualms about this.
I just need some vanilla ice cream. I'll be all set.
Ooh. Yeah, it was just National Ice Cream Day the other day.
So you missed your opportunity.
There's no more ice cream?
No, is today National Ice Cream Day?
Not until next year.
Oh, today's National Hot Dog Day.
Well, too bad you don't have one either. Oh. Sorry, that was a joke from before we were on air.
That was a wiener joke.
Yeah, I really like it too. I think it, tastes just like a root beer. You definitely get those like kind of vanilla and spice notes that you associate with root beer. And, you can't even tell that it's alcoholic at all.
No,
It
it's
just tastes
pretty
like,
good.
like drinking a A&W.
So what do you have for us tonight?
So I actually chose this one because it ties into my topic. And so this is a story that's kind of been making the rounds on Facebook, and it's about this Not Your Father's Root Beer because it's really exploded onto the scene, and it's now available.
So it's about this, but it's not about my father's root beer.
It's about this.
So, but how did you know my father made root beer?
Well, I looked at this bottle, and it said Not Your Father's Root Beer.
So how'd you know it was mine but not yours?
It's not my father's root beer.
I just had to say that joke. It's been on me all day. Sorry.
It's been eating him alive.
Like I was saying, in the past year, this beer has, exploded into distribution. It's in all 50 states now. You can get it, pretty much anywhere where they sell craft beer. And, this article that's been making the rounds kind of points out like somebody did some detective work about the brewery. And, it turns out like the place where it's brewed is like a big modern facility where they brew like Smirnoff Ice and Mike's Hard Lemonade, which are really not considered real beers. And like a lot of the trademarks are registered by like the same company that like marketed Four Loko. And
Delicious, I have to say.
Yes.
I do miss the old caffeinated version.
really?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
And the brewery was recently acquired by Pabst. So hence, the new availability of it.
Dan's favorite.
And
So-
found it like hipster hard on for this stuff too.
So having said all that, it's kind of seems like this beer is not really craft. Like it's kind of like mass marketed now, and it's out there. But in my opinion, it's still really delicious. So knowing all that, how do you guys feel about the beer? Like, does that diminish your opinion of it at all?
No, the reason for that is because it's root beer. That's something like people are already accustomed with, even though this has alcohol in it. But I think it's just, it's like a soft drink that typically people have had all their lives, so I don't consider it to be a craft of any sort.
How much alcohol is in this?
It's 5.9% ABV.
Unless you put it in a Grandpappy's barrel, and then you can call it the Not Your Grandpappy's Root Beer.
Oh, nice.
That actually sounds like it would be delicious.
Is that what they name the other higher ABV versions of this?
No, that's still called Not Your Father's Root Beer, but yeah, interestingly, they do make a a 10% version of this and a 19% version of it.
Jesus, 19.
Yeah.
I must have this.
So basically, you would have 3, and you're set for the entire day.
Oh yeah.
I have one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I
Yeah, that's
have
like
one and
It's like drinking a Dogfish 120 or something.
One Dogfish 120 is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we've seen Dave
Well,
chug a 120.
It is Dave.
I did get a free dinner out of chugging a 120.
Most people get like a pretty good buzz if they do that, but Dave's like, oh.
That's like, I'll take 2.
Yeah, I remember when you slammed 2 of them.
Thanks to
Psycho.
Dan and thanks for Dan and Tony for dinner that night.
No worries.
Because actually, I said I ordered 2, and I can't believe they actually came because of how rare the beer is. And I said, why the hell would I chug this? Like, what would I get out of it? I don't remember. I think it was Tony who was like, I'll buy you dinner. Like, if you chug this right now, I'll buy you dinner. Like, you won't do it. And I said, yeah. I'll do it right now. And I did it, and like the look of like Dan and Tony's face was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, the man literally chugged an entire glass of Dogfish Head 120. I don't know how, but
It was a waste. But it was so delicious.
Yeah, because that is not cheap.
it's not cheap and it's not easy. I mean, how do you chug a, almost 20% beverage?
Seriously, it's almost like if you're drinking a freaking whiskey or brandy or
like,
something.
like chugging it.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen Dave do that too.
That's true.
You were among a god, a drinking god.
Tony, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
So to clarify about this beer, it's not your father's root beer, but it may be mine.
there must be a paternity test.
Somebody called Maury Povich.
You are not your father's man.
I'm gonna make that meme and tweet it out at Beer Bros BS.
Yeah, we will send that out tonight. Dan, please remember to make that up.
Yeah, make sure you have like the little dude like dancing at the result.
Luke, you're not my father's beer. Sorry.
No, it's impossible.
So let me ask you, Jose, what would you age this in? If you could age it in any kind of barrel.
Yeah, Grandpappy Van Winkle barrels.
That's always the answer.
Yeah,
Tell us about that, the barrel.
the barrel. It's
In case we're not aware of what it is.
it's a bourbon. I forget where it's made. It's actually pretty hard to acquire. There's a seasonal release for it.
I would love to do this in like a sweet rum barrel.
Yeah.
Just even sweeter and rummy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I think even like throw in some Baileys or something would be pretty good with that, or
Oh, yeah.
or like an Irish whiskey.
Oh yeah. The Irish whiskey barrel. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Oh, like a Jameson or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I tend to agree with Dave. Just in general, like I think a rum barrel would do really
Yeah.
well. But if we're talking Pappy Van Winkle, you have to go with that, just because like Pappy is like the top bourbon.
So let me ask you, if they could make any other root beer alcoholic, what would you guys like to see them make?
Any other root beer?
Yeah, Barks, A&W, the RBC.
I was kind of partial to Barks when I was younger. That's just because it came with the temporary tattoos.
I don't know, man. I don't really have like a strong preference either way. I guess I would go with A&W though, just because they were already kind of like the bigger company. They had their own chain of restaurants.
Yeah, I
and
have to
stuff
go with
as
you on
well.
that one. I agree.
And so, I don't know. I think I would go with that.
What about you, Jose?
Well, I'm not really big into the root beer, so I guess
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. Or I don't know, Dr. Pepper. I don't know if that counts.
Dr. Pepper is not root beer.
I know.
Hey, this is
I'm
new
trying to
stuff.
flip over everything. Okay, so this week I brought this one topic. I don't know if you guys heard about Stephen Hawking and the Russian billionaire Yuri Milner. What they're trying to do?
No.
Nope.
What's
Okay.
that about?
They're trying to. They're having this new initiative project where they're spending This billionaire, the Russian billionaire, is spending $100 million to look for extraterrestrial life in our lifetime. So right now, the project will include combining the vast computing capacity of the world's most powerful telescopes to intensify the search. And right now, they're going to look at 1 million nearby stars in the galaxy and the next 100 closest galaxies. It's going to be 50 times bigger than sensitive than any previous searches that they will have done. It looks like Hawking, I guess he's a smart guy.
I've heard.
Yeah,
He's
some sort of
pretty bright.
some sort of Einstein, and
Some kind of Norman Einstein.
yeah, and evidently he believes that they will find some sort of life in this search. So that's pretty cool and all, but I have to ask you guys this. My one question is, Stephen Hawking. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. He's got a great sense of humor.
That is true.
He is a great, he knows what situation he's in, and he makes the best of it. So let me ask you, out of these television shows, which one has he actually been on? Star Trek The Next Generation, The Simpsons, Last Week with John Oliver, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Futurama, or The Big Bang Theory?
Which one he's been on?
Yeah, which one has he been on?
Is it only one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only been on The Simpsons.
No, Big Bang Theory.
I think all of the above, yeah.
I'm gonna say Simpsons too. I don't.
He's actually been on every single one of those shows as himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way it could only be one or the other, man. Because I'm pretty sure he was on Big Bang. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on Simpsons.
He's been
Simpsons got like everybody.
Yeah, he's been on Big Bang 3 times.
Jeez.
He's been on The Simpsons, I think 2 to 4 times.
Now, how do we know it's really him and not just like a computer?
Because he said it. He's gone out and said it was.
And in Big Bang, he's actually been
He's on there. Yeah.
He's on there.
Okay.
I mean, they have done his voice before.
Yeah.
Big Bang was the one, the episode where it was Words with Friends, and they actually play Words with Friends with him.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's another one where they posted some paper online and everyone said, "Oh, you're doing a great job," and somebody started to troll them, and they were the one guy was getting really upset. He's like, "Who did this to me?" And then he got a voicemail, and it's like, "Hey, it was me making fun of you. I hope you got it." Ah ha ha ah ha ha. And it's like, anyway, you guys did a good job. Ah ha ha. And it's like, Stephen Hawking think we did a good job on our paper? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Another frequent guest on The Big Bang Theory is Will Wheaton, who helped to brew one of our beers that we're drinking tonight.
Yes. The wood stout.
He's a nice guy, I have to say.
Making connections.
Yeah. We met.
I stay making connections.
We met that dude
Bitches.
at the what I think it was the SuperCon or MegaCon.
Megacon, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember David was talking to him for a while. Being the big librarian, as he says, he was talking to him about what his favorite book was, and Will Wheaton wound up giving this very elaborate response, and it was pretty interesting. He was really having like a in-depth discussion with us for about like at least 10 minutes, and then the recording got lost. But either way, it was still really, really cool to to share that moment and to talk with the guy, talk about beer and some other BS. So, Will, if you're listening, we would love to have you.
On the show.
We will tweet to you. Yeah, on the show.
If you've ever done a podcast, you might know how this works. You call in, we can podcast together. We can go on your show if you want. We can, next time you're in Miami, you can review some beer with us.
Probably rig up a microphone on next to the telephone.
Or we could Skype it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Skype on the Xbox works.
But Will, if you come here, Dan,
Or just on your laptop.
On the laptop, yeah.
yeah, Will, but if you come here, Dan will take you out to dinner first. Or after.
He'll take you to a nice steak dinner.
I'd never call you again.
You guys can Netflix and chill.
Binge watching, guys.
So we're actually on our second beer of the night. And this one was brought to us by Dan.
That's right, yes. I brought, I wound up bringing Seasonal Creep by Cigar City Brewing, the legendary Cigar City out of Tampa, Florida. And it is a chocolate pumpkin ale. It is 8.3% alcohol by volume. And, I think it's really cool. The artwork on it is interesting. It's got this kind of like zombie-looking dude, but he has like a pumpkin head.
He's kind of creepy.
Yeah. And I guess the beer is only seasonal.
So the pumpkin beer is seasonal? Is that you're wrong?
Apparently.
Does that have any relation to the Pumpkinhead horror movie?
No. I don't think that they could actually say that or deny it, but it doesn't really look like that character.
Oh no, it doesn't.
And I don't know. I'm excited to try it because I love good gourd, and they make that, and so I'm assuming it's probably going to be like that, but with a little chocolate twist. So I'm going to try it out now and let you know. Meanwhile, what do you guys think of it?
I was going to say, I think they named it Seasonal Creep because they released it much earlier than pumpkin beers are normally coming out.
So
Like
that
this
it's
came out,
creeping on the season?
Exactly.
Oh, I see what they did there.
To me, it tastes like a chocolate pumpkin pie. Reminds me of a dish that my mother makes usually around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the pumpkin flavor is much more fresh. Like if you actually ever have like fresh pumpkin meat.
No,
Pumpkin flesh.
would you tell us about the first time you ever tasted pumpkin meat?
Is it really called meat?
I don't know, what is it called?
I don't know, man. I'm just asking you.
I don't know. I always call it pumpkin meat.
I think pumpkin meat works because we all understood what you meant by that.
Yeah.
Get over here, pumpkin.
Yeah. Oh God.
It'd be like if it was just imagine like the way I picture pumpkin meat would look like. It would be like this microphone with a big orange tip on it that you put by your mouth.
Yeah, it's bringing back memories. They come flooding in. Yeah. Here you go. Some complete useless information about me. You know, like I didn't have an actual name when I was a baby. They called me Pumpkin for a whole fucking 2 weeks before they actually decided to figure out a nickname for me. I mean, they called me, my actual name, but they wanted a nickname for me and they couldn't figure it out for 2 weeks, so they named
So you don't think JJ's a nickname?
No, they didn't call me JJ until after a couple of weeks. They were calling me Pumpkin. Even though it was January.
Well, think about
Or
it.
December,
JJ
sorry.
is a name.
Forgot when I was born.
JJ is a name so good that you have to say it twice.
I guess they squatched your name.
They did not think it was gourd enough to use.
I got nothing.
Dirt patch.
No. Well, anyway, so yeah, this has got a different flavor than the good gourd.
For sure.
Like I said, this.
To me, the pumpkin flavor is way toned down compared to something like Good Gourd. It's more along the lines of a mass-produced pumpkin beer, but there's the chocolate on top of it does add another dimension that most pumpkin beers don't have.
Yeah. To me, I really like the smell of this one. The only thing I don't like is you do kind of get like that gourdiness in the finish.
Right. That's what I was talking
That
about.
I don't
that
really
fresh
care
taste.
Yeah, that I don't really care for as much. Is that the pumpkin meat?
Yeah, that's the pumpkin meat.
Yeah, Guardianite kind of lingers in your mouth after.
Well, the aftertaste is definitely chocolate. It's a little bitter, and that's definitely the chocolate.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Maybe in comparison, what was the one that was by Southern Tier? The Warlock. Is that the one I'm thinking of? That was an Imperial Stout.
Pumpkin stout. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So that was with chocolate too, or no?
Not as much as this one.
Right. Okay. I mean, they're. Yeah. I don't know. I would like to do these side by side, but it's gonna be kind of hard to do because we're a ways away from
pumpkin season.
pumpkin season.
Actually, not too far.
No, we're not that
Coming
far.
up.
Yeah, that's right. They came out really
Actually-
early last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, they're at Total Wine. When I stopped by the other day, they already had the pumpkin beers out.
Oh,
One of the pumpkin. beers.
It's the end of July. Next month's August, and
Dude, like next week is August. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Pumpkinhead. They already had it out.
oh wow. Okay. All right. That's not corrected. All right. Well, then maybe we can do that soon.
so what'd you bring for us this week, Jose?
I brought this week the Wood Stout. It's from Stone.
No, I mean your topic.
Oh, my bad. Got a little bit ahead of myself.
More beer for him.
Yes. My topic for this week is the Evo competition. It's a professional competition that, well, it's video game professionals that play competitively, and actually didn't realize that it was going on until Sunday. They tweeted out, "Hey, look, come watch on Twitch the video game competition." It was actually pretty interesting, like the different video games, like the fighting games that they had on, and the level of play that these people have. It started out with with Guilty Gear X, which is one of the PlayStation games. It's very fast paced and very twitchy, and for a video game, it boggles my mind how they can just cancel its move into another cancel into
it's for
ridiculous.
a very niche crowd. Hey, it just came out on Xbox.
But the following one was Mortal Kombat, and that was actually pretty interesting to see. Mortal Kombat is a little bit slower paced, and it's a lot more enjoyable to see because there's not 10,000 things going on the screen. But overall, I took up my whole Sunday just watching people play video games.
Yeah, wasn't there a funny thing that happened with the guy using Tanya?
Oh yeah, the guy actually, I guess because of the metagame, Tanya was advantageous to use in the top 8, so he just started to use Tanya. So what ended up happening is that since he didn't really have any extensive practice with Tanya, after each match he would press the pause screen and to look up the fatality move.
In the middle of a tournament where there's millions of people watching.
So the whole crowd, you could hear him go, "Boo!" because they're just stopping the game for
So, if he's winning, who cares?
That's what I said.
Yeah, until he didn't.
Yeah, there was one of the guys, he was real far up in one of the matches, and he started celebrating, and guess what happened? Womp womp!
Yeah. Yeah, it's not over until it's over, right? A lot of these guys have high level play, and it doesn't really phase them if they have a sliver of life left. They'll just keep on trucking in. If you make a mistake, they'll take you all the way down from full health.
So, to any of our female listeners that just went away, it was nice having you.
Hey, females play games too. So.
Yeah, we know plenty of them.
Name
Kicked your ass in Mortal Kombat.
We know one.
Yeah.
We know two.
Two, sorry.
Name them. All of them.
Patty and Ariel.
Welcome back, Patty and Ariel. All two of you.
Hey, there was females in the tournament playing, especially in Street Fighter. There was a bunch. They whooped some ass. Hey.
Was her name Chung-Li?
No, man. Actually using...
She was in the tournament, you said. Technicality.
Is that
He's
a
going
duality
infinite with this
for
one.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Technicality.
That'd be like the bailiff comes, takes you away. Scorpion's like, "Oh, what's happening? Gattaca!"
Did you just scream Gattaca?
No, this is not the league.
The league.
Oh, that's
Let's pour one out for the homie.
for poor Issa Lopez. That was his favorite movie. FX Networks.
video game.
The League.
And video game.
That's true. That's true. Oh, Jesus.
So what'd you bring for us this week, Dan?
I actually found something that is really interesting, and I got a huge kick out of it. Apparently, Bill Cosby actually has won a Grammy for an album that he released back in 1971, and it is titled Bill Cosby Talks to Kids About Drugs. And
He does have some expertise.
I just thought that was extremely ironic, and it features such tracks as Downers and Uppers, Dope Pusher, Bill talks about hard drugs, People make mistakes, I know I can handle it, and Captain Junkie. So I heard about this, and I thought it was topical and hilarious, and I don't know. I just I got a kick out of it. I thought it was extremely ironic and honestly really, really funny. And now I just want to hear his voice talking to people about hard drugs because I think it would make my life.
You see, people make mistakes. Down.
Is that Bill Cosby or Macho Man Randy Savage?
That's the best we have.
Yeah. I think they're the same person. I've never seen them together, so.
That's true. And both of their careers are over.
Aww, Macho Man. We love you, Macho Man.
Yep.
Elbow drop forever.
We love you, Bill Cosby, too. He's hilarious. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him. Hey, you can still watch Chris Benoit matches, can't you?
Yeah.
No comment.
So it just got really awkward around here.
Yeah.
Everyone's red. So, and that brings us to our third beer of the night. That was brought to us by JJ.
That would be me. So I brought the Dogfish Head Midas Touch. This is 9% ABV. This is based on a old recipe from 2,700-year-old recipe, if I'm going to be specific here. And it was one of the drinking vessels from the tomb of King Midas. So thus the name Midas Touch. So you're looking at, a very light color in the beer. You get kind of like white grapes, that little bit of a woody flavor.
What's it made with?
That's a good question. I know.
Gold?
Gold, I know they put, honey, muscat grapes, barley. So, yeah, you definitely get the honey. What do you guys think?
Do you think Midas actually touched the beer, or would that be unsanitary?
Well, it does appear to be quite gold. And I love gold.
Well, at least they didn't find it in his actual coffin. Then I don't know if I would want to try it.
Hey, things weren't too bad back then. This was an ancient recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call on that.
Yeah.
Although it probably would have been served warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they didn't have ice cubes back then or anything like that.
Yeah.
Either way, I would drink it warm. Why not?
Yeah, when I originally
what
first
wouldn't you drink warm?
Oh, man. Let's talk about that off the air.
No, when I first had this, I guess maybe it was just when I was getting into craft beer, but I always thought this was a very, strong, it really gave you a punch in the gut because of the ABV, but now, I don't know, maybe I'm immune to it. But it's actually kind of light and refreshing.
It's almost as though we've built up a tolerance for beer
Yeah.
over the.
Yeah, you don't say.
I feel like my liver is laughing at me right now.
It will have the last laugh.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Fuck you.
Laugh now, motherfucker!
So, JJ, what'd you bring for us tonight?
Okay. Well, it kind of coincides with yours. If we're gonna go with the alien life, NASA.
Aliens.
Dan just threw his hands up, just like the meme. You need the hair though.
JJ phone home.
Elliot. Anyway, so they announced this morning. Very good, Dan. He did a very good meme impression there. It was a mean impression of the meme.
Mimic?
Yeah,
Anyway.
sure, I guess so.
A meme impression.
Anyway, so they announced this morning that the Kepler Space Telescope discovered yet another planet that is Earth-like, but this one has been noted as the most Earth-like in comparison to our home planets. And the reason for that is not only is it in the habitable zone, based on distance from the star to its orbital thing around the sun.
You mean its orbit?
It's orbit, yeah.
I've been drinking. But anyway, so the sun is larger. It's 10 times % more brighter than our star, but the planet itself is 5% further away from the star, so it all balances out. And the star that it goes around is 1.5 billion years older than our sun. So this planet could be well more advanced than us. So who knows the technology that they might have, or what kind of, if there's any life on it, which hopefully that's the case, they're gonna really put a lot of effort into it and might they might coincide with Stephen
maybe-
Hawking.
Yeah, maybe we'll just piss them off and send a lot of signals at them and have them interpret that as war and destroy us.
No, but
Or they'll send like video game characters into Earth.
fuck that movie.
Indie.
Yeah, a whopping 9%. So anyway,
Oh, well, we could always ship them beer up there. Maybe they'll like it.
ooh, space beer.
What type of beer would be a representative of Earth if we were to send one? Because when we sent out Voyager, our one of our first probes out there, we put a bunch of music that was representative of Earth. I think like
Right.
Chuck Berry was on it. What would be a representative of beer?
I feel like it'd be something from Mother Earth Brewing Company.
Nice. Well played, sir.
I'm not familiar with this. Could you inform me?
They're brewery in, I believe, California. And
So you think California should represent the Earth?
I think Mother Earth Brewing should.
Hey, they
I don't
how-
know. You say something.
I would send
They
I
know
up.
would
how
say
to party.
German or Belgium.
I would send up the whole damn Total Wine.
Yeah, I would send.
Just walk in, pick out your best thing.
Yeah, there you go. Can we send them a flight? On the flight?
There we go.
Sorry.
Is it technically a flight if you're in space though?
Yeah, I do believe they call it a space flight, right?
But is it it's space flight, but it's a launch though?
Yeah.
Well, launch is just.
Do you
know,
launch a space flight?
Well, we definitely couldn't send an IPA because it's 1,400 light years away, so it would definitely be expired by then.
Definitely, the hops would fade.
Yeah, the hops would
But
fade.
you would think if we could master technology to travel that distance, that we could then figure out a way to preserve the hops and the materials inside the beer.
Fair enough.
Or you could just transport it as it's fermenting at the
Yeah.
speed of light, so it doesn't age that as quickly as.
Or if you do a stout, something that ages well,
Oh, there you go.
1,400-year-old stout by the time it gets there.
1,400 light year aged.
Well, it would be
Nice.
1,400 years if they were going at the speed of light.
Right. Well, yeah.
So it would be 114
Well, we don't have that technology yet, so.
It's because time is relative, so it would be longer to us, but in perspective, its perspective, it would only be 114 years.
So yeah, let me ask you guys.
Wait. A beer traveling many light years would give you a good buzz.
Oh,
yes.
Well, was light beer? Sorry.
And it has begun. Beer puns in space begin.
It has
Bonds in space.
It has galaxy hops.
I love it. And Polaris hops.
Yeah, there it is.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
gonna throw that one in from. That was last episode, right?
Yeah,
That we had the Polaris.
The Uranus beer.
Oh yeah. Well, we would have to go to Uranus. No, but
Uranus.
so asking you guys.
It could be a UFO Belgian.
I don't like the.
Very good. That is a classic.
I thought about that for a while.
Yeah, you've been waiting to lift off. Anyway, so I was gonna ask you guys, would you like to see it in your lifetime? That life, like not just like amoebas or whatever. I'm talking at least dinosaurs or animal-like things. Would you like to see that in your lifetime? That they discovered that on another planet?
No.
Why?
Because if there was a life more advanced than ours, there'd be a good chance that they
Would want to conquer us?
would want to conquer us.
Okay, well, if it was just dinosaurs, like a planet just like let's say that planet that they just found.
Suboptimal life, I don't care for it. No.
Okay.
I would be fine if we were the ones conquering the universe. Other than that, I'm good.
I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see another Earth-like planet that didn't get struck by a comet or a meteor, and if it went through the same evolution that we went through, but the dinosaurs didn't die.
I mean, it would probably be just like a completely different form of life that we can't
Yeah.
even.
They may have
Comprehend or-
4 eyes
Yeah,
compared to 2 eyes.
I mean, it's very likely that there could be stuff out there already that we're just not able to see with our, simple senses that we have. It's very possible that there's stuff that we just can't comprehend.
And
Your senses are simple.
And if you want to get really deep into it, what if there is life out there, but what if we can only perceive what's on one station as of a radio station, or there's lots of channels out there, and the radio can only pick up one station at a time. So what if there is something of sorts of a parallel universe?
Yeah, they had that.
different dimension. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, well, Morgan Freeman on his show, what's that one called, Tony?
Through the wormhole.
Very good. I just want him to do his Morgan Freeman. But that one they were talking about, that alien life, if it was already here that we didn't even know about, like if it came through raindrops or something like that, or if it got into our technology, that they're already here and invading us and we didn't even know it.
Well, there is Alienware out there. They're quite a decent company.
No, are you sure that wasn't Neil deGrasse Tyson instead of Morgan Freeman? I mean, I don't know.
No, they both have shows.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, my final comment on this, if that does happen, how much do you think it would change life on our planet?
A lot, because we would end up bringing the thing back and we would not know how to deal with it, aka Godzilla planet.
It'd be like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Because we'd be naive enough to, hey, look, let's bring back this blob back to Earth. And then blob is like, oh, what? Oh no, just
like
transformed into this other thing and just...
It was the blob.
It was a blob.
It was a blob and it killed us.
But it could hide from the cameras, and it could radiate its temperature to fool our sensors, and then get out of the cages and stuff.
What if it was already here? What if it was a celebrity? Which celebrity would you wouldn't be surprised?
Like Men in Black.
Justin Bieber.
A young pop star. That's original.
No, but he has influence over millions of people.
What about
Every pop star does.
But I'm going with the one that,
Annoys you the most?
and he's like one of the most popular ones that affects young minds.
you don't think it would be Sam Cassell?
Do you think it changes about every
That's
age?
already confirmed he's an alien.
Do you think it changes every year? Every generation? Where it would have been Elvis before?
Ooh, he's a shapeshifter?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Would have been Tupac? Would have been Elvis?
Elvis is still alive, he's an alien. Men in Black confirmed that.
Maybe. Maybe aliens are pugs.
So, brings us to our final section of the night. We're on what burns your bacon and why. Tony, what burns your bacon?
Well, for me this week, what burned my bacon is it's when I see cars that have bumper stickers on the back that say they're like the dog ones that say "Who rescued who?" or like my best friends have 4 paws. All this kind of stuff. Like, okay, it's great that you like dogs. I like dogs too, sure. But really, the whole rescue comment about it, it's like,
So you don't like rescued dogs? Is that what you're saying?
Aw.
I don't like that we call them rescue dogs. It's
Well, you're kind of rescuing them from getting killed at those shelters.
Ooh, it got serious.
Maybe you could use a rescued dog, Tony. Maybe he could rescue you.
no.
Maybe you can rescue Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
Or the dog could rescue Sourpuss,
No, but
your alter ego.
I don't like that we call it. And like, I don't know, it just pisses me off the who rescued who. Like, people are like I didn't rescue the dog rescued me. That is what I'm getting at. It's like, really, your life is that sad and, pointless that, it took a dog to rescue you from your, like, sad existence. It's like, that sucks for you.
Well, to lighten things up, we're actually on our 4th beer of the night.
Bark! Some people,
Things got real there for a minute.
yeah.
It got rough.
Well played, Jose.
Things were just barking out of control.
I don't know, I had like a better speech in my head planned, and it didn't come out.
It's alright.
Well, I rescued you from that.
His segue was like, people that are sad that need dogs. Here, let's line up for drink more
Here,
alcohol.
Yeah.
Dog got your tongue.
Maybe beer is my rescue dog.
Maybe. Or did you rescue beer?
Well, beer rescued me.
If you would have a
I
dog,
love
would it
beer.
be a Saint Bernardus?
Hey!
Or would you be a brew dog?
Might be flying dog.
Could you be a sea dog?
Could be.
What about Raging Bitch?
What about dog fish?
Head.
Dogfish is a shark. Just want to point that out.
You mean it's not a fish?
It's also a fish, but it's a shark. And Tony's wearing a dog on his shirt. Is there any relation to this, Tony?
It's a Rush t-shirt.
I'm just gonna mention that last week you brought up the Google Dream project,
Yeah.
which put dog faces in pictures.
Especially you.
Yeah. So, do you want to get a dog?
You know, I would get one if I didn't live alone, and
Aw.
I didn't have to like walk it or feed it.
Don't lie,
That's
Tony.
like a pain in the ass.
Don't lie, Tony. You love the bitches.
I do love the bitches.
So basically anything, that's why you have a Roombot. It's something you don't have to take care of.
Exactly.
The Roombot takes care of you.
It rescued me.
Rescued these floors.
So we're actually on like I said, our fourth beer of the night, brought to you by me. We're drinking brought to you by me, the big librarian. So we have a Lion Stout from Lion Brewing Limited. It's from Sri Lanka. Say our first Asian beer of the show.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's a foreign stout, means it's like an Irish stout, but it has a higher gravity and more alcohol. Comes in at 8.8%. I think the aroma of this beer is pretty good. It's I think it's actually better than Guinness's foreign extra stout. But it's very good. What do you guys think?
I enjoy it personally. I think it's indicative of the foreign stout style. Has a nice like sort of malty smell. I don't know, man. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the flavor that you get towards the tail end of it.
It tastes like teriyaki almost.
Yeah, right?
Like
I
soy.
didn't want to say that
But it's good. It's good. Like,
In a good way.
in a good way.
Right, yeah.
Morsel Zukov has the same like aftertaste.
I would have this with, some sushi.
Yep.
Not the, I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, like I would agree with Dan. You know, it's a very like classic example of a stout. You know, you get the whole like kind of roasted malt.
A foreign stout.
Why's it got to be foreign?
Because it has a higher ABV and it's higher gravity than an Irish dry stout.
It reminds me of that, though.
I'm trying to be more inclusive. You know, we're all on the same planet Earth here,
We're all
especially
on
when we
the-
have to fight the aliens.
I'm just saying, I'm about the dark side of beer.
What was that?
You say robber?
I thought you said Uber.
No, it's in the Darth Vader.
I still don't hear you.
Are you saying Rupert?
Oh, Rupert.
I'm not gonna do it again. Someone else do the Darth Vader breathing.
I can't breathe without my mask.
Get this thing off me, I can't breathe.
All right, Dan, what burns your bacon?
Okay, so what burns my bacon? I think this is going to be something that pretty much everybody will agree with. This would be when you're driving and it's raining and people put their hazard lights on.
Oh my god, yes.
And,
Why does that burn your bacon?
because that's not what they're fucking for.
It's fucking illegal.
They're for when you're stopped and, like
Is
that's
it illegal everywhere, JJ, or just in the state of Florida?
I don't care. It's,
Illegal in the state of Florida, at least.
yeah, and that's all that counts because that's the state I fucking drive in and it rains here a lot.
Well, I just think it's kind of stupid because, God forbid, one of those assholes wants to change lanes. Like, they're not
Exactly.
going to be able to know if they ever put their blinker on and are going to move.
And they do change lanes.
Of course
all the
they
time.
do, man, because people here are going to pass, like, one car because they're going to get to their destination that much fucking faster.
I forget the reason why they put the hazard lights on. It's because you can't see. Thanks for changing lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think, like, okay, if your taillights don't fucking do their job, like, you really need to do that? Seriously? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. If anything, I just think it causes more of a distraction and it's fucking stupid and I hate it.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
to be honest, the police don't really do anything about it. Like,
No, they
Nope.
don't.
Yeah, because they don't want to pull somebody over in the rain.
Exactly. They don't want to have to get out of their car and get wet. And most of the time, it's probably their cousin or some shit anyway.
No, but the main danger of that is it throws off your perception of whether that car is stopped or not because
Exactly.
it's a brighter light. Since it's blinking, that indicates this car is stalled. You need to go around it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what burns my bacon. I think it's just one of the most annoying things about driving, especially in South Florida. But,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely on my list of bacon burning.
Baking?
So bacon burning? That's the thing now?
I don't know how to phrase that.
Well, let me phrase this. JJ, what burns your bacon?
All right. What burns my bacon this week is going to be, it's going to be at concerts when they don't pair acts accordingly, or at least in my opinion. To give you an example, we got a show that a few of us are going to tomorrow. Slipknot, Lamb of God, with opening bands, Bullet for My Valentine, and Motionless in White. Two of these things are not like the other two. The audiences are completely different, and I kind of understand just because they want a mass amount of people and different age ranges. But to me, if I'm going to a musical event, I want to see similar genres and styles that, or at least of, when those respected bands came out. So it would have made a lot more sense if, you got Lamb of God, bunch of dudes in their 40s, Slipknot, they're all about the same age. To throw in someone like Gojira or Mastodon or, something like that pairs a little bit better with the music that you're gonna see. That just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And, especially for a metal show like that. And so that burns wood back on!
Well, what if they really surprise you? What if you watch Bullet for My Valentine and Motionless in White and they kick ass? And they outshine Slipknot and Lamb of God completely.
Or what if somebody else has a different musical taste than you and actually likes all three of those?
I highly doubt it.
Well, I mean,
Awkward silence.
I would follow that up with actually yesterday. I was at a show. Tony was there as well. It was Marilyn Manson and the Smashing Pumpkins. Those are already two kind of different styles of bands. But then there was an opening act that was a rapper. And I was just like looking around to the crowd, basically saying, what the fuck is going on? As pretty much everybody else there was too. 'Cause it just did not fit with that crowd whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like they didn't really ease on to it. You came there for a rock concert, and then all of a sudden you're hearing rap, and it's like.
Yeah, like
I mean, when I go to a hip hop concert, I want to hear hip hop. Can you imagine if they like open up with a death metal?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
hip-hop?
exactly.
So what if they were to have a show with, I don't know, Snoop Dogg, Less Than Jake, Smashing, Linkin Park, Korn,
Right. If it's
something that opens to
We
everybody
actually did go to that show.
to exactly that
What was
show.
That was Project Revolution, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
right. No, but I'm saying
That
if,
wasn't a festival because I think that's where you were going to try and go.
No,
That was a one day.
Yeah, that's an actual tour. No, I agree. You can do it every once in a while, but it's hard to describe. I'm not saying something like that when you're mixing up genres for the sake of doing it. I'm talking more about what they're trying to promote for whatever the headlining band is, that they're trying to complement music that goes alongside it. And I think sometimes they're just going more for like, hey, let's get as many numbers as we can get into X venue. And I don't know, it's annoying. When, there's plenty of bands that could have opened up that are available that fit the bill a little bit better. Cause I don't think a majority of those people that like Motionless in White, they might leave. So then you have a half-empty venue that went to go see those two Hot Topic bands, and then Lamb of God's playing for a half-empty venue. I don't know. Makes sense to me in my mind.
I really don't think that many people are going to be leaving after those bands. I think the majority of the people are going to come in after them.
Like we will.
So, Jose, what burns your bacon?
What burns my bacon is recently I've been considering getting back into competitive Magic play, Magic the Gathering or other board game playing at my local shop. And what used to burn my bacon all the time is people slow rolling in between turn.
Explain
So,
that to us.
Slow rolling is that when you purposely know what you're going to do, but you purposely do every single move slowly, just to drive your opponent, like, just to make your opponent anxious. And so he would misplay. So you would take 10 minutes for your, or you would, if it's a Hearthstone or any card game, you'd take your whole allotted time to make a play. So, I mean, that really, they try to play that mind game, but sometimes it just, I don't think it really helps out. It just pisses off your opponent, and it's sort of disrespectful.
Yeah, they do that in poker. You see that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's what came to my mind too, was poker.
I was thinking like icing the kicker in football.
Yeah, it's similar too, but I was thinking the poker example as well.
Well, icing the kicker, you might say throws them off their game, and that might have a strategical advantage in poker, or in like his case, Magic.
It's
I mean,
like a taunt almost. Like you're just like fucking with the guy.
Yeah, it's like I really don't have shit, but I'm gonna eat up the clock.
We can continue on this topic, but actually we're on our final beer of the night, and that's brought to us by Jose.
Yes, the final beer for tonight is the Woot Stout. It's a Stone Brewing made with two other collaborators, Will Wheaton and Drew Curtis from that hosted the site thefark.com.
What the fuck?
What the
Yeah.
fark? What'd you say?
Yeah, what the fark? So it's
Sorry guys, I farted.
the beer is a Imperial Stout. It's a 13% ABV. Stone Brewing is in, as some of you know, in San Diego, California. If I ever go there, I would like to visit them.
I have been there. It's an awesome facility.
Oh, really?
It's a really cool place. Like it's like they have like beautiful gardens, like sort of like Zen garden kind of vibe with like waterfalls and plants in the tasting room, and it's just like it's a really cool place to visit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Good
go
food
there.
too.
Yeah, they released this before, 2 years ago. I loved it then. I still love it now. They said on their website that they actually increased a little bit of the bourbon aging on this beer.
Yeah, you can definitely taste it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of it? JJ?
Yeah, like I said, definitely more bourbon. So it's got a little bit of a sweeter kick, which I like. Yeah, it's well made. Very well balanced.
For me, the bourbon's like not, it doesn't overpower anything. And you can definitely taste like the pecan that's in it.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You call it pecan?
Yes.
Pecan.
I call it pecan.
Well, you're wrong. It's pecan.
Pecan.
It's pecan.
No. No, pecan.
It is pecan.
I say pecan, you say pecano.
What's that in
It's a
Spanish?
Pecan.
Yeah.
All right.
Pecan pie.
You know what? I want people to tweet us at BeerBrosBS and tell us how you pronounce pecan.
Or pecan.
But that's gonna be in text, so how the fuck?
They could write pecan, like, you're gonna pee in a can. Or they could write pecan. Like,
Like how it's properly pronounced, or they make pecan pie.
Like, you said pecan pie.
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Pecan pie.
Oh, wait a minute.
no, you fucked up,
You
man.
totally just switched it. You switched it to my view, so I
Yeah.
appreciate how you.
I was trying to
admitted
the
that I
old
was-
cartoon, the switcheroo, you say it, then I say it, and you're like, oh no, it's that way. And I'm like, ah.
Is this a Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
Looney Tunes?
You saw that coming.
So, what is it? Peeing in a can or pa and I can? Pecan.
Worst.
Well, sometimes
Yikes.
Dan pees in a can, but
Yeah, sometimes.
No, he pees wherever he can.
that is true.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
You're incorrect, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you're incorrect.
Oh Jesus.
Hello, R. Kelly.
Trip, trip, trip. Trip on you.
Ugh. So what burns my bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't end it on people, please.
That would be a total washout.
Well, I don't know, I think this is somehow a step up from last week's, Tony's, would you fuck a cow? So,
We can never tip that. I mean, top it.
We're moving in the right direction.
Moving.
You know, what burns my bacon. You guys, no, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I know I said would never say that, but
I quit.
no.
Quit the show.
Okay. So,
Microphone drop.
you drop the microphone, I'll drop you. No, but what burns my bacon is people who don't pay attention when they're driving. You know, it when you're sitting at a light and you're like, okay, well, you know, I'm paying attention, everyone else is paying attention, and you know, the light changes, you're still sitting there. You know, like, oh, you have a green arrow, turn,
Light change.
turn,
Green
turn
arrow
now.
over.
And then the horns start coming, and it's like, and you have to look back at everyone else, and like, it's not me, it's the asshole in front of me that won't move. Don't honk at me. You're honking at me. I can't move him.
And then
Actually,
the idiot that wasn't paying attention like looks up, oh, I should go, and then he goes, and everyone behind him misses the light.
No, and then the person that's sitting there takes off like a bat out of hell. They take off just like, oh, fuck you all. Oh shit. You know, they're fearing for his
It's
life.
not so much about the person in front that's eating shit. It's the person behind you that should know better. It's not your fault. It's the guy in front of you.
Now, you know, Hose, not everyone who listens to this is from Miami, so they may not be familiar with the term eating shit.
Oh.
Should probably elaborate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please explain to us.
Yeah, the look of
Eating
confusion.
their boogers.
Well, I've seen that many a times.
Little people don't know is that, you know, in Miami we call shit boogers.
No, that is not true.
That is
No.
not the story behind this.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, it's translated from Spanish, like comiendo mierda, which means you're just like wasting time. You know, you're like not doing anything productive.
Yeah, it's brought to us by the Spaniards in the 1700s. It was a little after Ponce landed here and was looking for the Fountain of Youth.
And he couldn't find it, so he actually ate shit. I don't know. Is that the legend?
I have no idea.
No,
Does it sound real? I don't know.
he just died young like everyone else during that time.
Exactly. He ran out of food, and the only thing to eat.
Oh, man.
Sorry, non-Miami listeners. You may think we're crazy down here, and it's totally true. If you listen to the Florida Man story.
If you drive in the traffic down here, you will be crazy.
Exactly.
Look forward to next week for another edition of Florida Man, brought to you by yours truly.
Hashtag Florida Man.
Thanks, Dave.
Hashtag eating shit. Eating what?
Florida man eats crocodile shit.
Oh, no.
He took a bite out of it.
No, actually, that was
It's
Florida.
because you guys dared me, that's why.
No, that was Scruff McGruff.
Actually, that was Florida woman this week. Florida woman wrestled a 7.5 foot alligator to save her dog.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
right. I did see that. No, it wasn't Jesus.
Florida
it was
woman
that,
becomes shit.
Eventually, yeah.
Oh, that was like Sharknado last night.
Yeah, I remember the first time I like told somebody who was not from Miami, oh, like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just eating shit. You're what? You're doing what? I had to explain.
No, that's like one of the first times that we met some girls that were not from Miami, and you go and kiss them on the cheek, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, they like recoil. They're like, what are you doing?
They do that in other parts of this country as well, like California.
No, I know, but I'm saying like there's a good majority that, you know, if you do that outside of here, you might be testing the waters.
Yeah, they definitely, like, cringe backwards and are like,
I don't know,
my
man. They've
goodness, what
never
are you
done that
doing?
for me.
I
Maybe
was
just
gonna
for
say
you.
that too. Yeah, they never do that for me.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh.
had them throw up their hands like that, Jose, where like their fingers are all stiff and like scarecrow
Just
style.
remember, JJ, no means no.
Oh, man. I'm sorry that you had to encounter that, but I've never had that problem.
Oh, fuck.
I have
got
nothing. Yeah, I've got nothing.
JJ has nothing. He's there just like thinking of something. Can I get something?
Fuck you guys.
No, fuck.
I quit again.
I quit.
Bro, I quit. I told you.
Eat shit.
Yoda. He's a Yoda. I quit. Told you I did.
Shit, you must eat. Yes.
So on that note, let me ask you guys,
Delicious.
what was your favorite beer of the night?
Not Yoda shit. Dude, between I'm thinking the But dude, I really, really enjoy the Not Your Father's Root Beer. So, in between those two, man.
What about you, Jose?
Actually, I enjoyed the seasonal creep, but I was surprised by the Lion. The Lion Foreign Stout. It was actually pretty good for. Actually, I never really tried a beer that was of an Asian beer that was a dark beer. Also, that was a stout. So it's actually pretty impressive.
Well, do you technically, for instance, do you consider Indians Asians?
Yeah.
Like if you eat Indian food, are you eating Asian food?
Yeah, it's technically Asia.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, but do you consider
The Middle
that?
East is also technically Asia.
Technically.
Well, some parts can be considered Europe.
Technicality.
Finish
For instance, Turkey's trying to get or I don't know if they actually succeeded in getting a European
Oh,
status.
Yeah, that
I
they've
hate
been doing
turkey.
that, but they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
The food.
like decades.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, is it Europe or is it Asia? No, it's
Yeah,
just
like-
Eurasia.
Well, it's better than Uranus.
Knew that was coming.
So JJ, what was your favorite beer of the night?
Woot, there it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Woot.
Yeah, for me, it's a tie between Woot Stout and Not Your Father's Root Beer.
For me, it's the root beer.
Nice.
Like I just, despite its, mass-produced and subterfuge, marketing, it's just really delicious.
Which one again?
Not your father's root beer.
So, but I thought you said not your father's root beer.
It's not your father's root beer.
Not
My
anybody's
father's
daddy.
root beer?
No, not your father's root beer.
So, not your father's root beer. I can do this all night. So,
Hey, man, so who's on first?
Hey, did Greedo shoot first?
Yes.
What?
No. My bad.
No, I wasn't saying what because that. I was like, what are you talking about, JJ?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed Jose for these past couple shows. He will no longer be joining us.
I don't know if Greedo shot first, but JJ certainly did.
I would,
That's what she said.
there's no denying this. Shoot first, I do. Always.
Well, better you shoot first than he does.
Oh.
Is that Tony's Andrew Dice Clay impression?
Mike drop.
Oh!
The question is not if Greedo.
Unbelievable.
Oh!
Chuck and Joe went up the hill.
The question is not if Greedo shot first; it's if Han Solo received first.
Oh. The old Jedi mind trick.
So as always, guys, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. You can always send
At Beer Bros BS.
yes, all those at Beer Bros BS. Emails, questions, comments,
Suggestions.
concerns, suggestions,
Questions.
Burnt
ideas,
bacons.
Or
At-
tweet us.
or tweet us
Yeah, what burns your bacon?
at
You
Beer
tell
Bros
us.
BS. Also email us beerbrosbs@gmail.com. As always, you can find everything on our website, beerbrosbs.com. And you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and for Android,
Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict. I always forget that.
Addict.
Addict. So you are addict?
Yeah.
I'm addicted to you.
Was that a question?
I'll take
No.
a dick for 500, Alex.
What is?
He might as well face it. He's addicted to our podcast.
Guys,
Wow.
So as always, good night, guys. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian.
I am Dan at Dan12Con.
And I'm Tony.
I'm Jose at Jose_JR.
And I'm JJ the Metal Chef.
All right, good night, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.